You here?
I am.
Okay, there we go. Let me hold on. Let me clean up the back of this.
So I think the actual webinar might have started.
What?
Well, usually it says practice webinar, but it's not now. So I'm wondering if it's.
So, because I don't have the time blocked on my calendar, someone booked something with me. Okay.
It looks like we are live right now, just an FYI.
Okay. Is
So
that good or bad?
it's good. I was just letting you know. It looks like some
But
attendees
there's
are
nobody
starting.
on, right?
Yeah, we've got 2, 3.
Oh. Well, okay, good. They can watch us prepare.
See the behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yeah. So because that invitation gets sent to my personal email, someone booked me for 10 o'clock. So I have to actually call someone from Rossetti. So give me just a moment. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yep.
Okay, we are good. Michael?
For those of you that have already gotten on here with us, apologies. We accidentally started the webinar a little bit early, so we're doing a little bit of final preparation. So just hang out for a couple of minutes and we'll get started here in about 5 minutes. So thank you.
Wheels up, ready to go.
Trying to get some of the last few registrations on our spinning
Awesome,
wheel of
awesome. Okay, I
gift
see
cards.
people rolling in. Happy February, everyone. We'll be on in just a moment. We've got an exciting story for you today. coming from our CEO himself, so you'll get to hear real life, what happens behind the scenes at Alan Ram's proactive training. I'm just glad you're alive, Michael. I will say that.
I'm coming here. I'm here. I'm here. Glad I'm alive. It wasn't that dramatic, but it close. Hi, everybody. How we doing? Hi, Susan, Eric. How we doing,
Any
everybody? It's another fun
oh,
day in the neighborhood.
Los
We're freezing here in
Angeles?
New York. You're nice and warm in Los Angeles, I'm sure.
Not warm today. No, it's actually raining.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What is the
Yeah.
dude, all those fires? Has it become like a mud mess?
Well, that's the main issue here is that all of that just becomes landslide material. So
Right.
it's horrible. Yeah, I'm sure that there's people, boarding up their areas with sandbags right now.
Oh, it's going
I'm
to
sure
rain
they've
that
been doing
hard,
that past
or
couple
just
days.
even just a little bit of rain makes those mudslides crazy.
It kind of prepares the soil for a landslide,
Oh no.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if we were to get more consistent rain, I think it'd be a different story, but I think it's just because it's not that much. It just kind of creates this layer of mud,
And muck and gross and yeah.
and then eventually it just collapses, right? So
Ay, ay,
yeah,
ay.
so that's what we're dealing with, but the rain certainly helps any existing fires, which I think all of them were pretty much contained at this point. So yeah, how you doing?
An interesting January in California, huh?
It's been an interesting January. It's an even more interesting February in the world. Yeah, got a
Yeah,
lot going on.
fun. It's a lot of
A
fun.
lot of holding
Yeah.
our breaths.
All right. And we got the Super Bowl this weekend coming up that no one's looking forward to. The whole Kansas City's rooting for their people, Philly's rooting for their people, and the rest of the country
Of
doesn't really
course.
care, right? And
Yep,
it's very funny to watch that.
yep.
You get those two
Might
teams
be
that
another three-peat, I guess.
listen,
I
if the refs are going to give it to Kansas City, why not?
yeah.
It's whatever the NFL wants right now. I'm living in that world. I mean, I thought the best, I was watching the press conference yesterday with the players, and I thought one of the best questions someone asked Travis Kelce was like, who do you love more, Taylor Swift or, flopping out of bounds for a fake
Curious.
penalty? They asked him that right to his face. I thought it was great.
Did you do that? I would have smacked that interview.
I think he wanted to. I mean, he had a good answer. He's just like, I think he said both or something. I don't know. He had like, whatever.
Sure.
What is he gonna say? I mean, what's he gonna say? Yeah, I love when the refs give it to me. I don't know, but it was just funny that someone asked that question and just to kind of see even no reaction.
Hilarious what people can get away with. So, how are you? Tell us. Now that
Oh yeah. So
we're
you want me to
live, we've
share this
got
story?
more people
I don't know if
rolling
this is the
in.
story to get everyone excited or what, but hey, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, East Coast, West Coast. Susan and I are here coming from you, and yesterday I did have an interesting day. I've been fighting this cold or whatever I've had since NADA. The petri dish of NADA got me, and and I came home with a cold that just I have not been able to shake, and I've been really kind of feeling, but I've been just plowing through it, not really taking care of myself the way I should be taking care of myself, not stopping, not resting, just being Michael and being on the run and the go and nonstop. And yesterday, life said stop. And take a pause and take care of yourself, and I got that loud and clear yesterday. So I was leaving around 4. I had to pick up my daughter at school about 4:30 yesterday. I was leaving the house. It's the school's just down the road here, and I was leaving the house and was walking down the path, and next thing I remember is I'm sitting in the car and the engine's running and she's next to me in the driveway. And I'm like, Hadley, that's my daughter. I'm like, Hadley, how'd you get here? Why are you in the car? Like, how did we get in the car? And she's like, Dad, what are you? She's 10 years old. So she was like freaking out a little bit.
You're
She's like,
talking about,
oh,
yeah.
what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? You picked me up at school and we came home, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's not true. Like, none of that happened. And she's like, yes, it did. So like she called my wife, and my wife, of course, like called 911 right away. An ambulance came and took me to the hospital. And it turned out like, and she's like, Dad, you have, your ear is cut and you have a cut on your face. And it
mentioned
was
you
like
were
clear that I
bleeding.
fell. What?
Yeah. You mentioned you were bleeding.
Yeah. And like, it was clear, like something happened. My elbow had like a cut on it, but like, I didn't have like, when you fall, like I didn't have any like cuts or bruises on my hands. Like I was catching myself. We have
Wild.
a gravel driveway. So like PC, went to the hospital, they took a CT scan. I had a severe concussion. I broke my cheekbone here, which is actually really painful to eat. Um, but um, but yeah, basically what they think happened is I have not been taking care of myself and my body just passed out. And I just caught my, and broke my fall with my face. And here I am. So the lesson to all of you is sometimes you need to just stop and take a breath and take care of yourself, take care of your body. All of those things are just crucially important these days. And when your body is telling you to slow down and calm down, like slow down and calm down. And so, the next couple of days I'm going to be here in the office and not with clients. Susan and I will be in Atlanta next week with our Penske team. But between now and then, I'm going to be here at the home office, just working, resting, and not running around. And I got a couple doctor's appointments ahead of me. But yes, that is the
Believable.
fun and drama for me, and the lesson I'm trying to share with everyone else. Like, you got to keep going, you got to keep hustling, but every once in a while your body's going to tell you to stop, and you got to just listen. And that 24-hour break is going to save you from having a 72-hour break.
Basically, don't just take another Celsius. Listen to your body. Because I know who you are.
Well, a cup of coffee.
Meaning the
Yeah.
people on this webinar, the people we work with in the dealerships, just take another Celsius, just take another, but
Red Bull. Come
you
on, Red
gotta
Bull
listen to
shots.
yourself. Yeah.
Red
Oh,
Bull
yeah.
Monster
The
shots.
Red
How
Bull
about those? We've done those in
those
managers'
are fun, though.
offices.
Those are fun. But yeah, so great lesson. We've got to listen to our bodies and know when it's time to slow down and rest. So nice stuff.
Right.
We've got a lot to talk about.
We got
So
a lot
I'm
to talk
glad
about.
that
We have a
you're
big
here.
crowd here with us today.
Yes.
It's February. We've coming out of a little bit of a rough January for everybody. The car business is pumping, traffic is moving. We got no tariffs in Canada and Mexico, so we are all good from all
At
of
least for
that.
another month. So
We'll survive and we'll be okay. So now the focus is how do we help all of you fill that showroom up? That's what we want to focus on. That's what we want to talk about. And right now, we all know, the car prices are some of the best we've seen, and the rebates and manufacturer discounts are some of the best we've ever seen. But the truth and the reality is, every dealership has that. It's what you are promoting to separate yourself from everyone else. And that is about being the buyer and hooking the trade. And that's what Susan's got set up for us to talk about today.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the top 5 mistakes that we hear on sales calls. And we hear a lot. Let me tell you, we hear them live. We hear them all over the country, from mom and pop used car dealers to Highline. Really, it doesn't matter. Some of the same stuff is said at both dealers. So we're going to talk about.
And I can be in LA or I can be in the deep south of Alabama.
We hear this everywhere. We basically compiled all of the things that we hear people say during the trade conversation, and why it's a mistake. What is the result of using this little phrase? But I want to remind you guys about a couple of things first. So every month we have monthly spot training. This is something, as a subscriber of our program, you're never going to have to guess what course to take. Where do I go? What do I do? This is sort of like my Netflix. I can't decide why there's so much, right? Every month, Michael and I create a focus. Next slide, please. And that is the monthly spot training. And basically we create a plan for you. So if you're a manager, you are going to love this, because you don't have to stress about knowing what they're expected to do every month. We do it for you. And this month, every month we have a different focus. This month it's handling that trade conversation piece within that sales call. This is critical, you guys. This is such a big opportunity. Like Michael said, today it's about separating yourself. This is money right here. So we're going to talk about hooking the trade in the monthly spot training. Next slide, please. And I'm going to show you, this is great for newbies. If you're sitting on this call and maybe you've only been selling cars for a short time, there are things that we need to include on that sales call. And by the way, the goal of the sales call is not to set the appointment. This is something you've got to do automatically, but the goal is to get them in, right? That's ultimately where that goal line is today. And so usually people will focus on just collecting the information and then setting the appointment. And then we're shocked when it's ghost town crickets. We don't hear them come in, right? So this is the part of the conversation that we're going to focus on. And hooking the trade is just getting excited about it. Oh, you've got a 2003 Honda Pilot, with 210,000. It doesn't matter. It could be a gem. It could be a hoopty. That sounds like it would make a great transition vehicle for us. Let me explain. We got a lot of folks coming in looking for a new car, obviously, right? But not everyone can get into a brand new vehicle. So lots of folks end up looking for something a little bit older that they can get into more affordably, what we tend to call a transition vehicle. And we just have a big demand for cars like that. And for that reason, our appraisers tend to pay more, sometimes a lot more. Michael, when was the last time you had that car appraised?
Just recently, actually.
Well, great. Now you got a basis for comparison, So listen, and whether you buy a car from us or not, I hope you do. But even if you don't, absolutely give us a shot to look at that car. Because if we look at it like it, decide to buy it, we'll cut you a check and you can spend that money anywhere you want. So that's the trade hook, right? So when would you be able to come in? In fact, what are you doing right now, right? So that's the setting appointment, but we're giving them something that's called unknown hope. That's really going to mess up the next salesperson that they talk to, right? That appraises their car. They're not going to want to finish making a final decision until they talk to you. So next slide, please. Let's get into it right now. Again, if you are not a subscriber, really simple. We have individual subscriptions, right, guys? Eric and
Yes, we do.
Michael, and salespeople love them. In fact, we just got one this morning, someone who just started selling cars. Most of the teams that we have are dealership teams, but feel free to look into that individual subscription. And so here we're going to get into the fun part, the top 5 mistakes we hear on sales calls when handling the trade. So let's talk about number 5. Start there. What would you rate your trade-in on a scale from 1 to 10? Now, I hear this a lot. It's crazy. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just like been copied over so many times. And I'll tell you the response once we get it from the customer, there's really no purpose because it's simply their perception. So a lot of times what I find is like the customer will be like, oh, well, it's a 2003 with 210 miles on it, but I would rate it a 7, So what does that do? I mean, it gives them false hope maybe, or I'm thinking maybe salespeople want to know what they're dealing with first, right? Am I going to get excited about this car or should I just not?
Exactly.
Right?
And right. And the thing is that, when we're talking about that trade, when we're asking the customer to give their opinion, this is what I hear so many times. What do you think on a scale 1 to 10? What would you rate your car? I don't know, 6, 7. It's in really great shape. I take care of it. Oh, okay. No excitement, no energy, no care. This customer has put car washes, cleaning, gas, oil, brakes, whatever they've done, they've spent money out of their pocket and invested it in this car. They're not living in New York. Most customers don't live in New York and in Los Angeles, and the car is a lease and they don't give a shit. And we're just going to trade in the keys and take the keys to the next one. The majority of Americans buy their cars, own their cars, invest in their cars. They raise their families in their cars. They drive to work in these cars. They spilled coffee in it. They vomited in it. They did whatever and had whatever with whoever in those cars, okay? The truth is it's special to them. So whatever number they throw out, if you want to ask this question, not the question I would ask, but if you feel like you have nothing else and you forgot what to ask, I don't care what they say. If they say it's a 1, you say it's awesome.
Yeah, great.
Okay?
We got a need for
Great,
cars like that.
fantastic, amazing. Those are the words. Right, Susan, we have a market for that car because
Yep.
the truth is you do. Even if it's, well, you know, that car is just on Uncle Billy's property and, you know, we're going to get the tow truck over there and pull it out of the mud and bring it down to the dealership. Well, that's great because we have a place in a market that we can sell that junker coming out of the mud that you can't.
Yeah, and you know, I hear a lot of dealerships say stuff like that would make a great student vehicle for us. You see, we've got a university, a big one right down the street. Got a lot of students coming in here just looking for something simple and easy that they can commute to school with. So you've got to paint a picture. But this question, yeah, it's not so much that it's doing a lot of damage, it just doesn't go anywhere. You know, you're right. All I hear is a 5. Okay, right? And then that's it. Like if you're gonna use it maybe to buy yourself some time, I guess that's okay. But you know, I would follow it up, like Michael said, with something fantastic. That's fantastic, right? Whatever it is that they say, right?
Carry that excitement. Doesn't matter what they say.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, cool. Number 4. Is the trade paid off? Or what do you owe on that trade? Ooh.
Who cares? Who cares?
And you know what? I will say I don't hear this as much.
Oh,
and I know why. I know why. Because this has the probability of taking you into a price conversation. Okay. Anytime that you're going to ask a question about money or price, but it shouldn't matter. Yeah.
And again, if I tell you, yeah, actually I owe money on it, are you going to get into a conversation with me about how much money I owe? What are the terms left? Does any of that matter before I come to the dealership? No, those are all problems that I have the best people in the store to help solve. I have the best finance managers in the business. I have the best professional appraiser in the business is here. I have the best managers here. Problems of what's the car worth, what's owed on it, all of those things, none of that matters until the customer arrives. Like then we can get into those nitty-gritty details. Then we can swipe, because then I have all the resources here and available for you to help solve that problem. Over the phone, I'm just bullshitting you. I'm just full of it. And
what this tells me,
get a real answer.
Right. You know what this tells me, Michael, is that when I hear this, I know they've been at the dealership for some time. You know why? Because we know the aftermath of collecting like pink slips and stuff like that, right?
It's the veteran salesman.
I know.
It's when I do a mystery shop call. I just did it the other day. I did a mystery shop call for a client. Okay. Call sets up. I'm like, okay, Billy's gonna be Billy's the salesman on this call. Matt, owner, goes, Billy's my guy. He's my #1 salesman. We're gonna crush this. I play Billy's call. Billy calls a disaster, asking questions like this: is it paid off? What do you owe? You know, all the conversations Billy had were showroom conversations. They were showroom conversations to help. Billy's the #1 salesman because he closes customers in the store. The problem with Billy is he tries to close those customers over the phone.
He says the same things on the phone, right? Exactly. Yeah. No, I love it. All right. So stop. It doesn't matter. All right, number 3, and we're getting closer to giving away some money, right?
Yes, we are. We're going to be spinning that wheel in less than 10 minutes.
All right. So number 3 mistake we hear sales reps say during the trade conversation is go sell it yourself. Oh my God, this is like the ultimate mistake. Anytime that I hear this, thank God I don't hear it as often. But again, you guys, we have a live opportunity on the phone listening to us. I mean, it is time to shine. and get them in to see us. So this is just another reason to have them listen. We're also in the business of buying cars. Hello. If you haven't noticed, right? We don't just sell cars, we buy cars. And it's a very profitable side of the business as well, right? And it can bring you, if you're just the sales rep, it can bring you extra people into the store. So you absolutely want to do everything you can to get them to bring you the car.
And
right.
And the answer of go sell it yourself or go sell it on the street, you'll earn more money. Because I do this game when I'll be in with clients live, we'll call competitors, okay? And I'll call the competitors, and if the competitor never brings up the trade, right as they're ready to hang up with me, I'll go, oh, hey, I got a quick question for you. Listen, I got this old, Silverado, not so sure what to do with. Some people tell me I should sell it on the street. Some people I should sell it to the dealership. They go, okay, tell me about it. So I always make it like over 100,000 miles. I always make it like 8 years old or something like that, right? And
Test them.
I can't tell you how many times people are like, well, you'll earn more money on the street. No, that's not the answer. The answer is your car sounds fantastic. It sounds like it's the perfect transition vehicle for us. We have a market for that vehicle. We're going to pay more, sometimes a lot more for a car like that, and make this so much easier of a transaction for you.
It's so much easier. You won't need to handle any of that paperwork. Let us do it. No DMV visits, none of that.
You don't have to go to the DMV. You don't have to send your plates back. You don't have to do any of that. We are going to take care of all those things for you, plus pay more, sometimes a lot more for your car. Because what happens is when they try to sell it to me on the street, or if I say I'm going to sell it on the street, they go to number 2. Right, Susan? What's the number here?
Drum roll.
Sorry, real quick before we go, we got a question from Stephanie. She's asking, if the car is paid off and they decide to let us buy their vehicle, how do you handle making sure they have the proper paperwork with them, i.e. title, if you don't have?
Okay.
This is a great
question. Matter if the car is paid. It's a great question. It doesn't matter if the car is paid off or not. Every single customer needs to be bringing in the keys, need to be bringing in the title, and need to bring off a payoff letter. Okay. And all you have to say is, hey, listen, if you owe money on the car, or if you've already paid off that loan, please bring me a payoff letter. That's it. That's all. You'll find out the amount owed. If they owe money on that car, don't worry. The dealership will figure it out while the customer is there. As long as they bring the keys, the title, and if they had that car paid off, a payoff letter, that's all you need. Okay. The state, some states, leases, hold titles. Every state has little different laws. So, your desk will tell you exactly what you need to tell every customer. But as part of that trade hook, when you finish that, great, you're going to be bringing your trade in. Please make sure to bring in your keys, your title, XYZ, whatever your desk and your manager feels they have to, that's where you drop in there. But at the bare minimum, both sets of keys and a title. And
I will say though, a lot of times that's not part of this very first conversation. If they end up deciding just to bring in their car, obviously, bring everything with you. But I will tell you, there's a magic that happens, even if they're telling themselves, oh, honey, she told me that they might give us more money, right? So let me just go sell her our car. Well, what happens when they actually walk into your dealership? That shopping process goes from a very logical one to an emotional one. They see the car, they smell the new car smell, they drive the car. Oh, they've got that red color. I didn't know they had that color. I mean, half of those people are going to end up buying. Yeah. So that's just something to consider.
All right. So let's go to number 2, because number 2, I hear all the time.
You'll get a tax break. Yeah. Listen, everybody does. Everyone and your mom. Okay. This does not separate you. This does not make you special. This is something that every dealership offers, right?
That tax break is something everyone gets. It doesn't separate you from the competition. It doesn't make you sound special. It's just like, yeah, you get a tax break. Big deal. Like, I pay so much in taxes already. What's another couple bucks at this point, right? But when you tell me we're going to take care of paperwork, we're going to take care of all, when you put it into a whole comprehensive package of all the things that you're going to do to make it easier for me when I get to the dealership, then it's a whole different story. But if the tax break is the thing that you are going to lean on, which I hear from so many dealerships where they just know the advantage is you. The advantage is that you have a market for their car. That's why you want their car, and that's why your professional appraiser pays more, sometimes a lot more for a car like theirs.
It's a lot.
That's the connection.
What is a lot? I mean, it could be $50, it could be 100. That, believe it or not, that's a lot for some people. Okay, $100. For some of these trades that we see, it could be substantial, but this is nothing that's going to get you into any trouble. That the story and the demand that you're creating to see their car is what's going to pull them in.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
All right,
let's take this
ready
to
for
the
number
last
one? This is a big one. Can you guess what it is?
Yeah, we don't even ask. It's like an appointment. We're not even asking for these things. Like, we're not bringing up the trade. We're not asking about the trade. The customer brings up the trade. We gloss over it. Like, guys, the customer is so hyper aware after COVID about the value of their vehicle, about the value of the vehicle they're driving. When you bring that up and build it up and build that excitement around it, I have to come see you. When you say nothing and you don't care about my trade and you're leaving an entire equation of the car, math off of the table and out of the conversation because you're afraid to bring it up, you're not in control.
You're so right. And listen, if we think that this shopper is not also calling other dealerships, then, I don't know where you've been living under, but they're talking to other people. So imagine every other salesperson is picking up that phone like an order taker and saying, yeah, we got the car. When do you want to come in? What's your name and number? Okay. Yep. And that's it. Yep, we got the car. When do you want to come in? Right. And then you hit them with, tell me what you've got right now. Okay, great. Wow, that sounds like it would make a great vehicle for us, right? You're putting so much more into that conversation. You're warming up the call, you're building trust, you're building rapport. Do you think people have a personal, sort of sentimental connection with their trade-in? Yeah.
So when you
better
tell me
believe
you're
it.
excited about it,
Yeah.
then I want to come show it off to you. People love
Mhm.
showing off. Let
Yeah.
them show off their car. Don't take that away from them. You're going to show off your car. You're going to show off the car they're coming to buy. Let them show off what they want to sell you.
Yeah.
Okay. They want that. The customer is looking for that. Just like, dealers tell me all the time, I don't like it when vendors call me constantly. Yes, you do. You love it when we call you. You love the attention we put on you. You might not take our call all the time, but you do. And it's the same thing here. The customer loves the attention. They love the attention you're putting on their trade-in because no one else is.
Too, because appraisals are a big deal today. They're easily, we can go online and get it within a couple minutes. The problem is there's so many different values, right?
And
in
I'm sure a lot of
perception.
you get, oh, sorry, finish, Susan.
No, there's the value they think their car is worth, right? There's the actual value, and then there's what your sales manager is going to give them. So, don't even get caught up in all of that. Just get them in.
Exactly. And
That's it.
if they want to bring up KBB and all those things, KBB is a wonderful estimator. KBB does unseen appraisals all across the country, all day long, multiple times a day. Customers are putting their information. They use AI and algorithms and all of those things. But the reality is it's just giving you a ballpark number. That's why we have our professional appraiser here, because we want to give our customers real market value for their cars.
And that's a good point. There are things on vehicles that we cannot verify unless we see it in person. Don't be afraid to educate your client on that, because I do hear a lot of shoppers say, well, can you just appraise my car for the phone? I don't want to come in. I don't want to come in and waste my time, right?
Yeah, and that's great. You can do that on Zillow about your house too. But the truth is, like,
exactly,
a lot of people don't like the price Zillow gives on their houses. So, we gotta rationalize with people.
Use your head. Don't get caught up in questions and objections. If they ask you that, then that means that they're serious, and let them know, hey, listen, we can go online and you can pull it up in a second, but unfortunately, that is not going to give you the correct and the most efficient and the highest possible value on that vehicle. That we can only verify in person, unfortunately. So I'd love to see it in person. When can you come in? In fact, what are you doing right now? Right. So very, very good. Awesome. Okay. We have some money to give away, but I do want to talk about, we do have some stuff coming up. Gosh, we've got a lot of road trips coming up. We're going to be in Atlanta with the Penske team. Stay tuned for that, because I think
You're going to
we
be in
might do
Texas
another
with Vaughn. I'll be in Seattle with
podcast while we're
Pierre.
there. I'd love to get us on a podcast there. And then we've got a management by fire coming up that we're doing for one of our big groups in Texas, right? What else do we
And then we'll have a management by fire in May for everybody. We're going to have invitations coming
for
out
the
shortly.
public? Yes.
May,
Yep.
we're going to be on the East Coast. We were on the West Coast
Miami.
in November last year. We're going to be on the East Coast this year for this spring for management by fire. So I'm all excited for all of you to be there. We'll be getting invitations out shortly to everybody. But Susan, I think everyone's waiting to win some money here. While we're spinning the wheel,
All
and
right, we
while
got
we're
a lot
doing
of
that,
people on here.
yeah,
Okay.
listen, if people have questions about trade-ins, trade objections, all those things while we're spinning for money, please put them in. Susan and I will keep answering. But Eric, let's help some people win some money here today.
And you know what? We'll call out the name of the winner. I'll give you maybe 10 seconds. Michael,
Yeah,
is that okay?
15 seconds to chat in.
To let us know that you're here. You've got to be on.
Gotta be here to win, but we got 100 people on this call, so let's go. Big crowd today.
All right.
We ready?
Are we ready? Let's do it.
And let's spin.
All right, here we go. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Oh, Stacy Maya.
Stacy. All right, Stacy.
Are you in the house?
Are you here? Get into the chat, give a wave, give a hi, make your money. I think I saw Stacy in there.
I'm searching our attendee list. I'm not seeing.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Stacy?
Oh no, all right.
All right.
If you guys know Stacy, make sure you let her know.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and
spin that wheel. Sorry, Stacy, you gotta be here to win.
All right, come on, ladies. Let it be a lady. Come on, Linda. Come on, Linda.
Linda George. Is Linda here?
Is Linda in the house?
Don't tell me we got two that aren't here.
It's okay. This happens from time to time. We're selling cars, so people
jump out to sell. But we got,
I see.
We got over 100 people on this call. We got to find somebody. Linda, waving her hand.
Okay, we'll give you a few seconds. Anyone know Linda?
4, 3, 2, 1. Spin that wheel, Eric. Sorry, Linda.
Okay.
Next. The people who are here are going to be the winners. Oh, Ella! Emily!
Oh, I think I saw Emily on here.
I do see an Emily Michael on our attendee list. Let's see.
Emily, are you here? Raise your hand. Just hit that raise hand button or jump in on the Q&A. Come on, Emily.
Well, we need to spin again.
Oh my God, Eric. What are you doing with us, Eric? You are no.
Oh, we've got a hand raised from Emily.
Here we go. All right, Emily. Congratulations. Great job.
Nice job, Emily.
All right, Emily.
All right. Cool. That was fun.
All right, Eric will reach out, get you.
Yeah.
Guys, we are going to be doing these Amazon gift cards every month, every time we get together for Fired Up. Thank you all for being here today. This was absolutely fantastic. Listen, if you have any questions, anything, you could always reach out. Michael@allenram.com, Susan@allenram.com. Reach out to us, social media, on our website, anywhere you need. We are here to support you and help you succeed. That's our job. Your dealerships or your individual subscriptions are paying for access to myself, to Susan, to the entire Allen Ram, not just our program, but us, to help you succeed and get better. So if you need, write in. I'll give you my cell phone number. I'll share it with everybody, 917-279-6684.
Just don't call him while he's going downstairs.
You can, yeah, exactly. But I'll put it in here into the chat. You guys feel free. Please call me, reach out. We just want to see you all do great this year. This is a year where every single person could be making exponentially more than they did last year. And that's what I want all of you to do. Okay. So please get out there, crush it. Susan, any last words to the gang?
Happy Love Month, you guys. Don't forget to love yourself, love your people all around you, your family, and most importantly, have fun. Just have fun.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks,
We're in the
everybody.
funnest
Be great.
business. Bye, guys.
Crush it.
See ya.